Here I am out in the wild, trees behind me, and it's absolutely beautiful. But of course I came prepared. I've come with my gadgets, including a football boot with a brain, what's that all about? And also this very, very tough but pink camera. Aha! I shall reveal all shortly here on Gadget Nation.
Let's go.
Be honest with me, are you the outdoorsy type? They're seeing all this greenery and water and, well, nature, make you feel like you need to run outside and just get out there? Well, if you do, I'm sure you've got the equipment like the boots to go around and walk and the proper attire, but maybe you're lacking a camera to capture those moments. Right here, the Olympus Tough TG620, which claims to be very, very, very outdoorsy indeed. Let's put it to the test. We're doing things a little bit different today, which is why I'm wearing my sturdy boots and I'm sitting on some rocks around water. It's awesome being out in nature. Why am I here though? It's because of this very masculine camera. Now don't be fooled by its pink exterior. They say it takes a real man to wear pink, and this certainly is it. Following in the line of Canon and Pentax, what you can see right here is from Olympus. This is their tough camera. Let's see how tough it can get. You can probably judge from the exterior. Let me take the plastic off here. It is very, very masculine. It's got armor all around it, on the lens, even on the buttons. Everything is locked into place, including where you charge it, put your memory card in, and so forth. Very different from what you usually see. It's also obviously a camera, so the basics are 12 megapixels, 5x optical zoom, and it uses the same true image engine that you can see in the pen series as well, the processor rather. So very exciting camera. So let's talk a little bit more about the camera though. In terms of how tough it is, they say that you can put it into 5 meters of water, so it's waterproof in that aspect. It's 1.5 meters shockproof, and you can get it into temperatures as low as 10 degrees C. So obviously pretty much extreme proof, which is also nifty. Other aspects do make it a camera. They've got some really cool magic filters, HDR backlight, IHS technology, 3D shooting mode, as well as a host of other features. So obviously it's packed to the brim. When I say packed, I mean secured in an armor-like casing, which leads me on to the test. in all, this could have just been a very basic extreme camera. You can snap some shots, rather, put a memory card inside, and they could have left it at that. But no, they went all out with this bad boy, using that TruePic engine that we've seen, obviously, which I've talked about before, in the Pen series, having the beauty feature on it, having all those really cool different magic filters, add to a very, very sturdy camera. Combine that with the fact that it is a very tough camera, and you're good to go. Out in the extreme or just for day-to-day use. I mean, how often can you actually just do this?
Sure. So we're announcing three pretty significant enhancements to our Maps product today. One is that the user interface now is available in Malay Bahasa as well, with over 60% of Malaysians using Bahasa as their first language, and over 90% of the Malaysians who can understand it. Makes perfect sense. Second, we're also rolling out transit. So, you know, it's great to use public transportation. It's the green option. And what transit tells you is how you can get from place A to place B using either bus, LRT, commuter, train, basically any mode of public transport. And third, which we think is very interesting and which the Malaysians are going to love, is also traffic, which basically, if you enable the traffic layer, we start to color code your route. And it shows if it's red, it means it's pretty bad traffic. If it's yellow, it's moving reasonably okay. If it's green, that's fantastic, moving pretty fast, which usually tends to happen only on holidays or on festival occasions. But these are the sort of three main things that we're doing. Traffic is almost real time. We use how we make that happen is. When you use Google Maps on your phone, we use that information anonymously, of course, to then aggregate the data and be able to get a sense of how fast or slow moving the traffic is. So it's pretty interesting. So let's not focus on the minimum number of users. I think we don't really talk about that as much as the fact that we would not have rolled out this service if our engineers hadn't seen that there is a critical mass of Malaysians who are using maps on their mobile phones. And because we've been seeing that over a reasonably sustained period of time, we're very confident that we can roll this out and bring this service to Malaysians so that they can start to see, you know, which routes to avoid, which routes are good, what the traffic situation is, and generally get to more places on time and with less hassle.
You know, working out, really, it's a crucial part of staying healthy. Be it running, going to the gym, playing football, playing some tennis, squash, badminton, whatever suits your fancy. However, sometimes you need something extra that will really entice you to go, and that's where this comes in. A football boot with a brain. This here is the ADI Zero F50, but it's beyond that because it can think. Time to do things a little bit different today. As you can see what we have on the table, let me talk my way through it. This is the most important thing amongst a host of things that I have, the Adidas My Coach. So this is what we're going to be focusing on, predominantly on their football stuff. So I play a lot of football, so I thought, why not I just test the entire thing out, tell you what I think. So with that, we have their new football boots, which are the Adidas F50s. These are ready to go with the My Coach, as you can see right there. Sorry about all this black stuff, that's from my futsal session. This is where the My Coach chip goes in to track your football progress, to see all about your sprinting, distance covered, high intensity, and so forth. Question is, how good is it? Let's find out. So firstly, here's how it works. The left boot has something at the bottom where you can open a flap and effectively you just put the My Coach device in, so you don't have to worry about irritating you in case you are running. So as a matter of fact, it fits right in there. Now obviously I've taken it out because it's on the table, but you can see exactly where it slots into place. So it goes in the left one, doesn't make any difference. In case you're wondering, if you're going to play football with the My Coach device, it will only work with these F50s, although I hear that Adidas will be releasing for more of their football range of boots like the Predators later on in the future. Now, once this goes in, it'll start tracking the moment you start doing your warm-up, so it's automatic, just like that. It is battery powered. It will last for a few months at least, so you should be good to go in that aspect. Now, for comparison's sake, the real trendsetters who started this a few years back were Nike. This is their Nike Plus device, which people use to track their running when they go out and they're jogging and so forth. So very similar, as you can see right there. Okay, that's in case you've seen it before. In case you want to use this for other sports, though, I should tell you you can. You can also get it for your basketball shoes. It's the same chip put inside the basketball shoes. If you're going to go running, you can actually use it on any shoes. There are My Coach running shoes, but if you buy this, you'll actually get the little clip-on right there. So it slots in and you effectively just clip it into your laces and it will track as you're running. Obviously, it's not going to work when you're playing football because you're kicking the boot like that, so that's before it goes inside. But for running, stick it on your laces and you are good to go. So the moment you start working out and everything, that's when it all comes into play. Once you're done, you instantly take this little device. This is crucial. You plug this into your iPhone or your iPad. There's another version, which is USB. You have to wait till you get access to a laptop or your desktop at home. For more portable ones, you plug it into the bottom. For the purpose of TV, I'm going to plug it into my iPad because it's a bigger screen. So once it's plugged in, it's detected and you can immediately upload the data from your football session straight onto your iPad. Now, instead of just having things being tracked, it makes it a little bit more fun. You have an avatar. So what you can do is you can actually start playing a game with your avatar and his stats are boosted by how well you do in your football session. So you can see here your power-ups and so forth. I'm just going to press OK so you get an idea. And it effectively looks like that. Now, for the rest of your stats, when you've uploaded it, well, you'll only be able to see the top line results because it's still going to synergize with your account online and send it over. That's where it gets really interesting because people always want to see how far they've run during futsal, how many sprints they had and all of that. The game's taking a little while to load, so that it looks like that. So that's obviously your avatar, and then you can play the game. So it's pretty cool if you ask me, has to be said. So what I'm showing you right now is on the iPad or your iPhone how the stats look like in comparison to the one which is uploaded onto the actual My Coach website. Much more detailed and much better, and that's where things get really interesting, simply because you can see everything that you've done. I mean, this is amazing. I can see how many sprints I had, the total distance covered, how long my session was, even to calories burnt. So I have to say that is awesome. Now, what are my thoughts about all of this? once you've seen it all in action, it's good. It's really, really cool because I'm fascinated by this. Like just being able to see and actually keep track of my progress in terms of fitness when it comes to playing sports is a huge benefit. And just having this chip, being able to put it on my running shoes, basketball shoes if I played it, and other sports is also a real added bonus. It gives me something to drive on. One gripe I've had were connection issues with the synergy between the devices. I could not actually upload my stats from my MyCoach device to the website for a couple of days, although they said that it's now fully rectified and it's A-OK. Apart from that, it's certainly a lot of fun to use, and all of these GPS-enabled devices, calorie counters certainly do help in terms of fitness. If you want to lose the pounds, best start now, and these will just give you an extra drive.
I've been using YouTube for many years, but until as of recent, it was only to watch music videos, I have to admit. But with the dawn of short films and comedians, we get a lot of content that you don't get on your local TV, right? So now that YouTube Malaysia is finally here, I think it finally puts Malaysia on the map. Perhaps it will open the floodgates for Malaysians to submit more user-submitted content. From a business standpoint, I think it will also open up gates for marketers and advertisers. If they want to market something to Asia, they won't forget Malaysia because it's youtube.com.my.
I started using YouTube since 2 years ago. At first, it was just for fun. I like to talk in front of the camera. I would like to be a presenter one day, so I thought if I record myself in front of the camera, it will train me to talk in front of the camera. So I just, record. When my blog readers start to ask me to do the tutorial of scarf styling, I do scarf tutorial, how to wear shawls, how to wear makeup, and I find it useful because when I put it in YouTube, more and more people watch my videos and they ask me, oh, who's this girl? Is she a blogger or is she just a normal person? So I find it useful because I can promote my blog. I just put my blog link there and there are many traffics from YouTube coming to my blog. And since now we have YouTube Malaysia, I think it will be more challenging because there will be more and more new competitors, more new channels. Well, I think it's okay. I love competition.
Yeah, okay. Finally, first they finally come to Malaysia, but they will impact in our ways, in positive way. I say that it's not gonna take like in charge of us, but more like a complement of what we are doing. It's like we having a now new medium, to put something on. It's gonna be positive, and it's gonna be really a big challenge for media as well, as we need to cater these two sections, for the to produce something to the masses.
Joking. No, I'm not very good at that. No, I'd rather play it with my fingers on a game. Now, one game which is hotly anticipated and you can do it joking would of course be Street Fighter Tekken. Street Fighter X Tekken. Oh, and Avery's played it. He's played it a lot. He wants to share his thoughts about the game with you in Gamer Station. Hadouken!
Avery Score here with the Gamer Station. We got a great show for you today. Finally checking out Street Fighter X Tekken. This is a game that I was absolutely looking forward to ever since last season. We did some interviews, we did some previews, we took a look at the game, and it got my blood pumping, and it never stopped until now. So I picked up the title. I really enjoyed playing it with some caveats. The caveats are coming. Patience, patience. Capcom in general just loves these crossover games, whether it's the Marvel Universe, whether it's King of Fighters, whether it is now, you know, the Tekken universe. I'm a huge Tekken fan, huge Capcom fan, so to have these two universes collide was obviously huge for me, you know, this young fan of video games, and I was not disappointed here. Basically, the core mechanic of the game, if you don't know, is that you've got two people on a team, and these two people act as a unit, so you can mix two Capcom characters, a Capcom and Tekken character, just two Tekken characters. It's up to you. The choice is in your hands. And they essentially share a single life bar. They have their own separate life bars, but if any of the characters get KO'd, you lose the round. So you can use them strategically. Probably the first way you'll play is by, you know, oh, I'm going along with Ryu. Oh, okay, he's getting low on health. Let me switch characters. But obviously, just like with any tag style game like Tekken Tag Tournament or Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's much better to switch between characters and juggle your opponent through the entire roster. And you can create some devastating combos this way, and that's kind of what separates the wheat from the chaff in terms of your ability to play. So the gameplay can get quite rich and quite complex, but at the same time, the playing field has been leveled tremendously, which is good and bad. Really good for beginning players getting into fighting games for the first time, really bad for hardcore experienced players that enjoy these games for the difficulty and the uniqueness that each character brings to the table. So all of the characters have essentially been simplified and flattened to use, at the very least, a set of core gameplay mechanics and moves that are essentially built around the Ryuken, you know, Dragon Punch style of gameplay. And so if you've mastered a few of these movements from the Capcom side of things, you can literally pick up and play any character from the game and be relatively competent. So in essence, you learn how to play the game. You're not necessarily, you know, drilling down into the individual characters and really getting that uniqueness and that depth. On the other hand, there is a lot of depth there if you are an experienced player and you're able to access that. Some experienced players are going to be upset at this sort of lack of individualism with the different characters in the roster, but beginning players certainly will have a leg up there. My personal opinion, there was no need to simplify this title. The graphics in this game are pulled straight out of Super Street Fighter 4, which is true of most of the gameplay as well. So if you played Super Street Fighter 4, you're going to find this title to be eminently familiar. There are a number of cool features in the game, though, that really make it stand out from its Capcom predecessor, such as the use of gems. So essentially you can have up to 3 gems per character, and these gems have different boosts that complement your playing style. So if you're an especially defensive player, you know, you can get like a wall type gem, and that'll allow you to take more damage essentially, or you can get offensive gems which boost your attack power, and activating these gems at the right moment in combat is essential to your victory. It's not necessarily going to turn the tide of combat, but it's something that you can use to your advantage certainly, and players who master the gem system obviously are going to be unbeatable for players who haven't. In addition to a great arcade mode, there's some cool training modes narrated by Dan Hibiki, which give you a great introduction to the fighting system and the individual characters that you're looking to master. Obviously, one of the most attractive things about a modern fighting title is the ability to play online. Yet somehow, these games are all insufferably laggy, and unfortunately, Street Fighter X Tekken is not necessarily an exception. I had some decent matches with players also, you know, in the region, but often the matches were plagued by lag and just generally unplayable. So I would say if you can, have your friends over. And speaking of having your friends over, one of the coolest features of this game is you can actually connect up to 4 controllers and duke it out. You can have each player control 1 character, 2 characters per team, and switch back and forth. So you can really get that tag team feel, like, hey buddy, take it over for me. I need your help. So that's something that's really, really eminently cool. There are also, depending on what version of the game you get, some sort of platform-specific features. In the PlayStation 3 version, you can play as Cole, which is really, really, really sweet, from the Infamous series, obviously. And that's a great feature that was done in games like Soul Calibur to great effect, and it does add a lot of value here. So all in all, I would recommend this title. I think it's certainly a solid offering, and if you're a fan of Super Street Fighter 4, you're absolutely going to love it. With the caveat that if you're hardcore and you are sort of, make no compromises type of fighting game fan, you're going to be disappointed with the simplified combat system. I'm Avery Score. I'm going to get back to this.
I play a lot of video games as well, and I noticed they're becoming more and more cinematic. LA Noire and all those Call of Duties and Battlefield, and of course the sports games getting more and more realistic. Do you reckon there's still space for an arcade-style fighter like we just saw? Let us know your thoughts. Find us. We are on Twitter and on Facebook, GN Gadget. And guess what? We're also now on YouTube. Look up Enjoy AWANI. It's N-J-O-I, AWANI. My name is Adam Carruthers. I also am on Twitter, and I shall see you next week.